What? What? I can't hear you. My mat's too loud.
Hey, what's up YouTube? Mark here from the Backpacking Gear Nut, and today we're going to talk about the NeoAir X-Lite. This particular mat has been around for a while and it's a staple. Now, I purchased it wanting to hate it. I wanted to hate it because I'd heard how noisy it is and everything else, and I felt like it was just too old of technology and it couldn't keep up with my Nemo Tensor and my Big Agnes and my Sea Summit. So let's get into what we like about this and what I don't like about this, but I'm going to tell you, I actually like this. But before we do that, can you please hit that like and subscribe button so that we can get this content out to more people? And let's get to it. So, first thing I really like about this mat, it's got the lowest weight to warmth ratio. This mat is a 4.2 mat, and my large size mat only weighs 16 ounces. That's 1 pound. All my other mats that are in that weight category are at least 5 or so ounces heavier than this. Now they got their own proprietary thing in here, and it is their triangular core matrix or something like that. I probably got that wrong. Maybe I got it right. I don't know. But basically they take all of the film that they use that is reflecting heat, and it's in these triangle patterns throughout the mat so that it's better at pushing the heat back right up at you and not mixing it with the air below. And it works fantastic. It definitely keeps me warm. I love that about this mat. I love the weight. I love the fact that it keeps me warm. And here's another thing I like about the mat. This is a 30 denier nylon, and usually when you start getting a lot thicker of a denier nylon, it starts to get kind of plasticky feeling. It doesn't feel like that to me. It's actually pretty nice. And I sleep with a quilt, and with a quilt you don't have something between you and the mat. You're just laying right on the mat. So if I'm not wearing a shirt or something like that, it's just my skin right on the mat, and I slept like a baby on this. Now, it's 2.5 inches thick. A lot of my other mats are 3 inches or 3.5 inches thick, but it's 2.5 inches thick, and I was concerned about that. The only time I bottom out, and I actually let the air out quite a bit because I like it to really shape to my body. The only time I bottom out is if I sit up or something like that and it puts more weight in one spot. Other than that, it actually supports me, and it's pretty comfortable. Now, it's not as comfortable as like my Big Agnes or my Sea Summit or even my Nemo Tensor, because they all have these beautiful little welded spots throughout that create kind of a quilting feeling. So each individual spot will actually depress without moving the other ones. It feels more mattress-like. This one doesn't feel as mattress-like. This one feels definitely a little bit more air mattressy, where it kind of moves and you can feel it, but it's not so bad. The way they have these horizontal baffles that go across here, it keeps it from feeling way too wobbly. It's really pretty nice. Like I said, I wanted to hate it, but I don't. Now, I've had a lot of people tell me that these horizontal baffles for people that are side sleepers will tend to give you numbness. On the nights that I've used it, I'm a side sleeper. I pretty much always just sleep on my side, and I didn't get any numbness at all. But I also do something that's a little different. I use a really tall pillow that takes the weight of my head off my shoulder, so my shoulder doesn't dig in as much, and I still feel completely supported. And so it worked great for me. It's durable. It's pretty bomb-proof. I know that you can destroy anything, and one of my professor friends would tell me, he always tells me, every time I tell him about a new piece of equipment, he goes, I could break that. I could break that. And I'm like, how about trying not to break something? But he's a super cool guy, and I really like him a lot. and he's a lot of fun to go backpacking with. But the mat has this twist lock valve, and this twist lock valve works pretty good. It doesn't let air out as fast as other mats do that have a much bigger opening, but it works pretty good, and it's not like poking me in the back or anything because it's up here on the corner. And it takes me a little longer to get the air out, but with all those triangular baffles that are in here, it kind of holds the air a little bit more from going out. So I actually don't think it's because of the valve. I think it's because of their system that actually keeps you warm. Now, there is something that I dislike about this, and there's two somethings that I can tell you about that I really don't care for. One of those things is it makes too much noise. Here, take a listen. A lot of people say that sounds like a potato chip bag. You know, I actually think it's funny. My wife and I, we've nicknamed this pad the potato chip bag. And so whenever she's asking me about this particular mat, she always asks me about the potato chip bag. So, but for me, I sleep pretty deep, and so it doesn't really bother me. The noise doesn't wake me up. I sleep with a little bit of white noise next to my head so that it really helps me to just ignore that stuff. But I will tell you, if you're sleeping with a friend, just move away a little bit, because this mat tends to actually wake other people up. Now, before I get into the last thing I don't like, I want to tell you something else I like about this, and that is the pump sack. This pump sack is awesome. Now, it's not the lightest pump sack, but it is pretty dang light at a little bit over 2 ounces, and it is got something that I wish other people would do. A lot of my pump sacks have the valve right at the end where you connect it to the mat. And this one doesn't. This one has it at the side. So let me close this so it'll hold air, and I'll put some air in this so you can see. So when you get the pump sack like this and the valve's right here, you can connect it to the mat, and when you push down on it, it doesn't pop off, because it puts the pressure on the bottom of the bag instead of putting the pressure on the valve itself I just don't like it when they pop off. It's kind of a pain, but this works fantastic. Now, there's something else you should know. They also give you a patch kit. I think that's pretty cool. I know that a lot of people give you patch kits, but they actually give you the adhesive in here too. Some of my other mats, and I won't say which ones because I pretty much only have mats that I like nowadays. I've gotten rid of everything else if I don't like it. But some of my mats, it comes with a patch with no adhesive. So you do have the patch material, which is nice because they give you something that matches your mat, but you don't have the adhesive to actually put it on, whereas this comes ready to go straight out of the package. So that is actually pretty dang cool, and I really like that a lot. Now, there is one thing that is kind of difficult to swallow with this mat. This mat is $230 when I purchased this mat. That's a pretty steep price. This is quite an expensive mat. Would I pay it? Yes, I would pay it. Now, I wouldn't have paid it until I knew that I actually liked it, because originally, like I said, I only bought this so that I could compare it for my YouTube followers. But I've realized how much I actually do like this mat. So I would pay it. I think that money's worth it. The neat thing about Therm-a-Rest is they try to do good as far as environmental things go, and I won't get all into that, but they try to do good. One of the things that they try to do is, this is actually American made. I'm in America, and I'm not saying that American made is better than any other made, but what they're trying to do is they try to make their stuff in market. So I think that means that they make these in America so that there's less shipping and waste of gas and resources and all that. I'm pretty sure that they have factories in other parts of the world to try to make sure that they're not transporting stuff any more than they absolutely have to. And they have a lifetime warranty. They're not just some small company that's going to be like fly by night. They are here to stay, and they make great products. I do wish they would do like Nemo and all the other ones and make them quieter. But the truth is if they did that, they wouldn't be as warm at such a light weight ratio. So you get the noise because you get the lighter mat at the same temperature rating. Now this mat is ASTM rated, which is a really important thing, because what that does is if you have a certified standardized rating where if everybody does the tests the same way under the same types of conditions, you can get consistent R values. What's the R value? The R value is the amount of insulation that you have so that you know how much reflection of heat you're going to get back to yourself. It's not like the mattress actually makes you warmer, it's retaining your body heat so that you can be warmer. Now, I hope you really enjoyed this content. Please look up here for links to other mats that I have reviewed. Now, down in the description below, there is some Amazon affiliate links. There'll be one for this mat and some other things that are some of my favorite items that I like to use for backpacking. If you use one of those links, there's no obligation to you or anything. This isn't to try to sell something to you, but if you're gonna buy one of those things anyway and you use that link, I get a small little kickback, which really helps with me to be able to continue to make more videos like this. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, because that helps me to grow, and I'll see you on the next one.